Hello, I am Eli G. Brown / Eli G. Brony. Before we begin, some people are probably going to be asking, what are with all the shelves over there in the background, and why are all your Bionicle and Hero Factory figures on there? Well, it's because in the next week or so, there's this guy that's going to be looking at my ceiling, and because there's a crack in the ceiling, so we want to get that fixed. So I needed to move my things out of there, so they're down here in the basement until that time. And so I'm going to be out of my own room for 3 or 4 days while the ceiling is being worked on. But anyway, with that out of the way, here is a MOC that I've done, and this is quite an unusual one. This is actually not supposed to be part of either the Bionicle or Hero Factory storyline. This is actually a character from My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. This is Discord. He was a villain who was introduced in the 2nd season, and in the 3rd season, he was given a second chance to see if he could be reformed, and while he then became good, though he did help out the main villain in the finale for the 4th season, but then he truly reformed at that point. Well, that's about it. About this character. So I decided to try making something using Bionicle and Hero Factory parts for this. Mostly Bionicle, though, because, well, it was what I had. This was built using only parts that I had, no Bricklink orders involved, except any that weren't specific for this one. No parts were purchased from Bricklink on this model, specifically for this model. Any that were not intended for this, so, yeah. So, basically, any parts that I already had are just used on this. So, for starters, I'm gonna start with the legs. If you notice, one of them is in the a silver claw piece, and the other foot is a Toa Amata foot, the original Toa foot. And one leg is green, and the other is tan here. Now, the actual character actually had, I think it was like a cow's hoof on this leg right here. I did not have a hoof piece for that. Didn't have a Ben 10 foot for that, so had to go with what I had, which is a brown Toa foot. And the whole problem with using a singular foot on a MOC makes it quite difficult for the other half of the pair as to what you're going to use for that one. But I did manage to come up with the other half of this pair for a use, which is part of the lower body. Right there. And so the legs are connected to that foot, and the tail is also connected to that foot. I used red Omnitorin arm/leg pieces for the tail, and used a Vizirac leg tip for the end of the tail. And then, using one of the Toa Hordika headpieces, used that, and used a Borak body for the upper part of the body. And the next thing that I wanted to do was to make the head. So I used a gray Borak arm/leg piece and used that as the neck, and then used a gray Toa foot for the head, though I just recently ran out of these in my bins. I used to have a whole bunch of them, but now they've all been used up. This is the second to last one in the bin. There's only one piece, only one of these feet in this color left in the bin, so yeah. So, I did get the eyes, used these pieces right here. They look pretty good. And I also needed to... oh, wait, you can't see. There we go. I also needed to use something for the horns. One of them is in a blue color and the other is more whitish or grayish or something. I had to use what I had, so I used this piece from the Hero Factory series. And it's supposed to be an antler, so to make it more antler-like, I added this small claw piece over on this side right here. And I also added the ears. The ears are right here. These are the ears. Right there. And the black things right here, these are supposed to be the mane. This is the mane of Discord. There. Yeah. And then, going on with the arms, I really wanted to use the Paraka arm, the yellow one from Huki, from the Tomamari series, because it was the only one. It was not in a pair. But I could not figure out how to get it to work onto this MOC right here. So I just had to go with one of the yellow Toa arms, or Throwbot arms, or whatever they were supposed to originally be called. Which does mean I now have an odd number of these in the bin. But I'll figure out something to fix that. And I also gave him a yellow hand, right here. I did try to figure out how to have it be a paw, just like with the actual character of Discord, but I just could not figure out how to do that. I don't have any of the gold Savage Planet paw pieces existing in my storage bins right now. I think I used the last one on my lion MOC that I did. And then over here, this is supposed to be a claw right here. Like a bird's claw. So I use that as well. And then lastly, with the wings here, well, one of them you could argue was kind of more purplish. I did not have any purple parts to use for that, so I used the dark gray blue instead over on this wing, and then over here used a Hero Factory leg or arm piece, and then used one of these blue Karapar armor pieces onto that as well. So that's about it. That is Discord. And thank you for watching, and I will talk to you again in my next video.